Well, hey everybody, it's the 11th day of September 2025. I'm Jan Erickson, and this is As Above, So Below. Move my tea out of the way here. Um, let's go ahead and get started. Uh, these are yesterday, what went on, and today being the commemoration of September 11th, 2001. People have all kinds of feelings about what's going on, and so maybe today's reading will either help you deal with some of that, or have a different focus maybe, or maybe this will be about what's coming ahead now. Let's start with Swillow. Swillow is the 16th rune of the Elder Futhark. It means it's the rune of the sun, or the rune of the will. It's an as above, so below rune. You can see Kenaz forward and reversed, kind of skewed here. This would be the above, this would be the be below. And it's about self-confidence and healing. It reflects higher self, illumination, the link between spirit and form. But as the 16th rune, it has a numerology of 7. 1 and 6 is 7. And so you're looking at a balance there. Having a balanced perspective with soul or higher self infusing itself into your... I hate to say infusing it into your awareness, because the soul is your awareness. And so we don't connect with it, though, as a rule here in form. We react, we do what we do, and make everything more real than what it actually is. Because what if we're just observing? What if the soul is here just observing different potential scenarios that it can then learn from? And I mean, we've got an awful lot of things going on in the world right now where and within the self that we can learn from. And so invoking the higher will into that experience, into those observations, I think helps guide you in a less reactive way, than simply giving into ego and reacting to everything that's going on and being so caught up in the drama of it all that you can't step back and look at things from a broader perspective, or in this case with Swillow, a higher perspective. So that may be part of what this reading is going to be about going forward here, because there's lots of things that are very triggering right now, truths that need to come out, and so that we can understand the bigger picture and what the full manipulation of it all it really is about, because I believe that's really what's happening here. Let's take a look at the Geomancy rune. We're going to put this, where's fire? There's water, there's air. Here we have Fortuna Major, greater fortune. We had that on Monday. Again, what is your greater fortune? Is it financial? Is it the ability to see things, though, from a broader perspective, one that relies on the inner assistance of the soul itself, to get that perspective, to see the greater picture of everything, and to understand what it is we're really doing here. And again, if this is observing different scenarios, we can't get caught up in the drama of it. And so we're so fixated on what we believe the truth is and things like that, that we fail to see all the other things that have to happen to make those situations possible. Do you see what I'm saying? So if you think about it from that perspective, that to me is your greatest fortune. It's the greatest achievement that you can have, to remember, number one, you're a soul, and to let go of the fixation on the drama that we're all caught up in right now, and have been for a very long time. Maybe, I would say our whole lives, but particularly right now, the drama is intensifying. I could say a more crude, the caca's getting real moment, which is what's happening, I think, right now. And we have to understand where are we in this? You know, are we caught up in the drama? Are we caught up in trying to figure it out? And when we have no real understanding of all of the different threads that have to come together to weave this moment. You see what I mean? Uh, and so if our greatest fortune then is Sawillo, uh, the higher self, then that's where we have to remain and stay focused there and stay neutral and just observe and say, okay, I see this and I see that, and be able to step back and look at all the different threads that are coming together again to weave the fabric of this moment. I've already done some shuffling, so I'm going to go ahead and take 3 cards. Well, we've got a couple kings surrounding a 10 of swords here. We've got cups, king of cups, king of pentacles, and I don't know. One's passive aggressive, the king of cups, and the other one is maybe concerned with his legacy, maybe a little more responsible, maybe a little more steadfast. You know, can be a little fearful, I think. And, you know, when you're concerned with your legacy, I suppose that's kind of an earthy thing to do. But before we go any further, though, we're not going to have much of a numerology here. We had 16 for Sawillo, and then we have the 10. Because the court cards don't have a number associated with it. So you come up with 16, and again, that's going to reduce to 7. Wait a minute, did I do that right? No. 16 plus 10 is 26. How did I do that? 16 plus 10 equals 26. It kept coming up 16. That's weird. Okay, so 6 and 2 is 8. So we're not going to have the same as what we had on Monday. 8 is about material recognition and approval. It's about leadership. It's about strength. And so the leadership and strength part of this, I think, if we're going to say your greatest fortune is to live as the soul that you are and to acknowledge that and to let go of, you know, getting fixated on everything that's going on around you and making that more real than it needs to be. Again, if the soul is just here to observe these things while the personality or ego goes around and does things, well, as part of the vehicle, you know, to do that, then again, the greatest fortune is to be able to remember who you really are. Let's talk, gosh, I don't know if I should talk about the 10 first, or the kings. Let's talk about the kings first. We're talking about, first of all, bookending the 10 of swords here with 2 kings. You've got this guy, the king of cups, and then you've got the king of pentacles. Both of them are authority figures. One is with the water element, so you're talking about somebody who may be wise and loving and spiritual and generous, but he also may be impulsive, could be passive aggressive, problems with commitment, depends on the continuum where they fall on that continuum. So you've got an authority figure that's like that for the king of cups. Then you have the king of pentacles. Again, successful man, both are successful. Older man and authority, both are that. Concerned with legacy, can be a little bit fearful, but he's steadfast and he's responsible. If you're looking at both as authority figures, you're looking at one you really can't necessarily trust with the king of cups here. He's on the water. His throne is floating on the water. It's moving around. There's so much change there. Anything could happen. So you're not, he is not going to be as steadfast and dependable as the king of pentacles. And so maybe when you're looking at the situation that's going on right now, that's so immediate, that everybody's focused on right now in some way, because you're going to have differences there as well. be careful of the king who tells you something that it seems reasonable in the moment. But in fact, it's so changeable. So if you look at this as information, then be careful of information that's coming out during the heat of the moment. Because unless it's just absolutely, okay, I saw this person do that, it's on video, everybody agrees, it's not going to necessarily be the truth. So we want to avoid passing judgment. Again, seeing it from a soul perspective, do not pass judgment on things that are still changing in this moment. And authority figures, you had with what happened yesterday, you had the FBI director come out and say, oh yeah, we got him. And then, oh no, we didn't get him. it's like you people are making snap judgments right now that may or may not be accurate. You may want to wait for somebody who's a little more dependable, an authority figure that's more dependable. I mean, good luck finding one, but one that is more dependable and more reliable before you make any decisions here. Now, that brings us to the 10 of Swords. Swords is the air element. So you're looking at intellect, you're looking at truth versus deception, perception basically as well, balance, communication, interaction, legal matters, all kinds of things having to do with the air element and swords. But here you have a guy he's laying down on the sand or the ground next to a body of water. He's covered in a red drape. He's got 10 swords piercing his back. But if you'll notice, his head is not face down into the dirt. It's looking toward the light. Now, the emotions here are pretty well settled because, after all, his back is pierced. But he's focused on the light that's returning. Here you have the night. It's starting to clear up. It's starting to lift. And now you don't see the sun, but you see the yellow sky here, which is indicative of the light returning. So you're having to wade through, essentially, a lot of stuff, right? From this guy, you can't necessarily count on what he says. He could be right. He could be providing compassion, which draws you in. But at the same time, there's just too much there that's snap judgments and, oh, well, it's this. Well, no, now it's that. Now it's that. Now it's that. And so you can't necessarily deal with this guy all that well. This one, though, there's more at stake. And so he's more reliable, maybe, and more dependable. But the outlier here is when you have so much at stake, then maybe you're willing to communicate things that aren't true, just to keep yourself. That's the fearful part of this man. He's got what he's got, but he's afraid he's going to lose it, and so he's going to have to dig in and keep all the ducks in a row, and he's going to have to give out a message that people believe they can rely on. So you see, we've got an issue with both kings here, with truth being at the heart of all of it. And again, if this is the one that's having to conceal things because, he's done some stuff to get to where he is and all that stuff, right? And he's fearful of losing it all. Well, you don't know if you can depend on that. And so the reality of it is you have to turn your face to the light. In other words, to Sowilo and higher self and higher awareness and the soul's vision of everything that's going on, the neutrality of it, the observation of it, just paying attention to what's going on. And though that's interesting, let go of perceptions that no longer serve you and turn your face to the light. 10 is about endings and beginnings, and if you were to terminate the end of these Roman numerals here with a line, then you'd have the rune de Gaz, which is also about endings and beginnings, the end of one phase and the beginning of another. And so maybe this is the time, if you were given to the ego's focus and fixation on the drama that's going on, and, oh, I believe that, no, I believe that, well, now that's not true, I have to go believe that. No, step back, become neutral in all of it, turn your face to the light, your own inner light, again, with inner assistance from Fortuna Major, and that is where you need to put your focus. and to just wait and be patient to see what the end of the story actually is, and not be influenced by this person who, is so passive aggressive you can't really depend on anything he says. It's whatever works for him in the moment, whatever manipulation. You could dovetail them together. Why does he have to be manipulative? Well, because he's got a lot to lose. So two sides of the same authority figure. Does that make sense? And letting go of your attachment to this person, because I think this is probably really one person, and letting go of the perceptions that clearly are not going to serve you. Oh, it might serve this guy, but it's not going to serve you. You're not going to ever get to the truth. The only way you get to the truth is to turn your face to the light. And the light within, the light of the soul within, where you can let go of the drama, let go of the fixation on that, and resonate there in a higher vibratory state, and just watch and see and pay attention to the patterns that are out there. You see this happen, this happen, this happen, this. Are they connected? Well, if you're mired in the drama of it, maybe you're only seeing pieces and you're not going to know. But you step back and be the soul that you are, and you just sit back and watch and wait till you see enough of the pattern emerge that this one doesn't want you to see and this one doesn't want you to see. I think these are two sides of the same guy. I really do. And there's a lot of hidden stuff right now that this guy does not want to come out. And but it's going to. The tipping point was reached a long time ago, and there's no stopping it now. But we have to wait, and we have to be patient, and we can't get mired in the ego of it and being fixated on the drama of it. Make sense? Okay. I'm not going to belabor the whole thing. I think I'm just going to stop here and, get through today. This is a very significant day for a lot of people, where we were attacked. All those years ago. Everybody remembers where they were on 9/11, when it happened, when the planes hit the buildings. So anyhow, this is a day maybe for just quiet reflection. But it's not a day to get caught up in the drama of social media or of this person on this TV show or that person on that podcast, and who is literally making their living by speculating and trying to pass it off as truth. So thanks for watching, and come back again on Monday for another edition of As Above, So Below. Be good to yourself, be good to one another, and blessed be.